Hey, ever wanted to build a simple, automated cold outreach system that can send thousands of personalized messages to your target customers each week? The kind of messages that would make them want to book a demo with you in the next week or so, maybe even tomorrow. And so, if yes, you're in luck because I just recorded a video training going over the 4 interconnected components that make or break any cold outreach system and explains why most founders can't get outreach to work with the outdated strategies they're trying to implement. And so you're tired of relying on referrals and want to generate a consistent stream of interested leads, demos, and signups without overpaying for ads and without hiring a big sales team. Just watch the video below and implement the strategies I'm about to share with you. And below, I'll also link the original video training that contains also the results we generate with those strategies, results we generate for ourselves, for our clients, and also explanation why we chose this exact system out of 30 plus other go-to-market strategies, so you have full context. And so without further ado, I'm going to cut into the video and enjoy. Cool. Now, to the meat of this. How to build an efficient, automated cold outreach system that books demos on your calendar every single week. In order to create such a system, basically you need 4 interconnected components. And those components, they essentially make or break your cold outreach system. The first component being your list, the second component being your outreach channel or channels, the third component is your offer and messaging angles, and the fourth component is your follow-up system. So let's go over each of those components in more detail. So your list. What I mean by your list is your list of prospects or potential customers. And what's important to remember here is that not every prospect is the same. The same way is not every customer is the same. So the first step in building a solid list is to identify the highest value segments of your market who value your solution the most and who are willing to pay the most for it, even if you offer exactly the same features to like different prospects in your market. So you want to be extremely specific with who your target customers are, their job titles, company industry, company size, revenue levels, their day-to-day problems and desired solutions, their current tool stack, how they measure success, etc., etc., etc. And you can basically outline this in a Google Sheet, like an example below, or just freeform. Actually, at this point, I would recommend freeform, whatever you're comfortable with. This is what I done basically a couple of years ago. Recently, we started doing it freeform in Notion Google Doc. The main thing is it's easy for you to outline and you don't overcomplicate this. Essentially, you find out all of these things. And then what you do is you want to rate the niches based on the following criteria. The problem. Do they have a big and frequent problem that your product can solve? And or frequent problem. How easy it is access channel, how easy it is to reach decision makers online and contact them. Financials, are they able and willing to pay for your solution and pay what you want to charge? Familiarity, how familiar are you with this niche, and how much like experience do you have in it, and overall do you want to work with it long term with those type of prospects? Social proof. Do you have any case studies, reviews, like already in this niche? And lastly, sales cycling. Do people in this niche have decision makers in this niche have a longer or shorter sales cycle? And like do the best you can, rate them. Here's an example of how we did it. Here we use the simple, basically 0, 1, 2 system with 0 is no, okay is 1, and 2 is great results. So you can use this here to rate and identify basically the base niche to go after and test first. So, and again, it's important to remember, you don't have to be 100% rigid. It's not 100% mathematical process. The goal of this exercise is to give you a better idea of which niches have the best potential for you. And at the end of the day, you need to feel comfortable committing and testing your niche for the next 3 to 6 months at minimum, so you can pick essentially the niche that feels right for you. And the goal is to test each one of those niches and validate the best niche for your offer. And when we talk about basically testing and validating your niche, like here's a great analogy. I took it from Nick Kosman. I think it's a great way to explain this. So So it's like going fishing. Imagine you took a boat and you go to a lake, and then you have your bait. So the lake, the location is like a niche. The bait is your messaging claim or offer. And so let's imagine you went to a lake, you have some worms, and you try it, and basically you try and try and try. You're there for hours, but nothing bites. Now, you're kind of in the same, next day you go into the same lake, maybe a slightly slightly similar location, still a lake, but this time you try not just regular worms, but I don't know, like little fish or worms with paprika or whatever, like avocado, whatever you like. And there you see that actually you start getting some bites, you start getting small fish. And then you change basically your bait again. Let's say you change it this time to small fish, and then you start getting some turtles. Like, okay, interesting. Now, you tried it for a while, and then you're like, wow, what if I go to this location? What if I go, like, this sounds nice? And you try the same bait there, and suddenly you see that you are attracting like bigger fish right now, even whales sometimes. I don't know how you would pull the whales out, but like, hey, you're attracting them. So like, this is the analogy for testing and validating a niche in the market. So you find what actually people want, not what they need, what they want to start a conversation with you. And then you can sell basically what they need wrapped in what they want here. So here's how to do it practically. Analogies are great, but like let's go over how to do this practically. So you would use a lead database like Apollo to get a list of your target prospects based on your criteria. You don't have to buy them right away. You don't have to basically pay for Apollo and subscriptions. At minimum, use their free plan to build a list of prospects you want to reach out to. And key point here is there should be at least 3,000 prospects per segment for best results. And again, the higher, the better. So here's an example how we built a lead list of B2B SaaS founders, for example. If you can see criteria, industry keywords, and again, I'm going to record a more in-depth video on Apollo and how to use the filters in an advanced way later on. But for now, just use it. Next, let's say you found your list, you got a few thousand people. Now, you don't start sending them emails right away or reaching out to them. You first want to verify your list using, re-verify your list using an email verification tool like Million Verifier. And again, you don't have to use Apollo or Million Verifier. This is just, I've tested several ones, and these are the best ones that I found so far. So if you want to use, I don't know, Zoom Info or another verification, like for lead database or another verification tool, feel free to do it. I'm just saying what worked for me and my clients. So essentially, you want to re-verify them, because even if verified, like Apollo leads signal as verified, it's not always verified. So it's best to double check and avoid burning your cold email accounts with high bounce rates. So here's an example of leads we got from Apollo. This list got 6% of bad emails, and this one got 20% bad emails. And so it depends on the niche, the level of the company, but overall you always want to re-verify before you send. Now, once you got a list of your target prospect with good emails, it's important that you go through it again and make sure the company names are written correctly, because mostly databases pull company names from LinkedIn, and oftentimes they have additional abbreviation like LLC or SPA, or like have the name of the company, I don't know here, what is it, like T-Blocks, and it would say T-Blocks Software or like T-Block Capital or whatever. And so first names you also want to check, but usually they're pretty good, they're pretty solid. But company names you want to clean up. Now you can do this manually, but I recommend using a tool like Clay, basically to normalize company names with AI, and you can do it even on their free plan. So here's basically an example of normalizing the company names. Now, Clay is a more advanced tool, but again, I'm not going to cover the advanced features on in this video. Just use their free plan. clean up for free, and it's good. But overall, you can use with Clay advanced personalizations where you can basically identify whether, like, have an AI agent visit the company website, identify if they fit your, for example, B2B SaaS B2B SaaS company criteria or the criteria for D2C commerce or whatever your niche is. You can mention companies' competitors, case studies, target customers, as I basically mentioned here, their funding level, yada, yada, yada. But these are more advanced playbooks. I'm going to cover them in future videos, but for now, it's important to just keep it simple, because you should not be like, you should be able to book demos consistently even without all this AI, like advanced AI personalizations. No amount of personalizations and like references will trump having a great offer and a great list, which I'm going to cover basically in a bit. So here's what we have. This is the list. Next thing is your outreach channel. For most of you, the outreach channel you're going to use would be cold email and LinkedIn, because most business decision makers use email and they also have a LinkedIn profile. So we'll focus on cold email first because it's the most common and the most scalable outreach channel. So the first thing I want to cover basically on cold email is is setting up a solid cold email infrastructure. Now, if you want to send more than 10 to 20 emails a day and not have to do it manually and not burn your main domain, then you would have to set up a solid cold email infrastructure. So the first step to sending 1,000+ cold emails a day, and again, if you want to send 500, great, same things would apply. If you want to send 200, if you want to send 5,000 or 10,000, same things would apply. So 1,000 cold emails a day is a good benchmark to start, basically, when you want to start sending cold emails. So if you want to do this and book demos consistently, it's important to set up a solid cold email infrastructure that would allow you to do outreach at scale, land in your prospect's primary inbox, avoid landing in spam, getting blacklisted, and burning your domain. So here's a quick graphic I put together on how this looks like. We have the basically we set the infrastructure. It has basically different domains. Each domain can hold up to basically 4 accounts. In this case, selected like 3. It all connects to automation platform, and it basically warms up, rotates the inboxes, and basically sends to your prospects, and the responses come into the Unibox. Sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple to set up once you know a few things. Like, there's more complicated setups. I'm going to cover the simplest 80-20 setup you can do. So first thing, do not send your cold emails from your main domain. HubSpot and Salesforce are not cold email sending tools. Do not use them. You'll burn your domain. And so just sign up to Instantly or Smartly. This is the cold email automation platform. Instantly, like we personally use Instantly, but I know Smartly is also a good option. So think of it as Instantly is more like an iPhone. Smartly is more like an Android and has all this custom things that are more advanced, so to say. So just sign up to one of them, buy 20 to 40 accounts with their done-for-you email setup service, set up your accounts on your name, all of your accounts on your name, like the founder and CEO who would be reaching out. There are a couple of other options, but for simplicity purposes, just do that. And follow their guidelines for account setup, email warm-up, sending limits, all that stuff. That will be like in their support docs. I don't want to spend too much time covering this right now. Quick note on email service providers. Keep your accounts on Microsoft and Google. No custom SMTPs. Yes, it's a bit more pricey, but if you set up custom SMTPs for like email inbox for $1 or something, you like most of them, they are very risky. And if something goes wrong, and it will go wrong, you'll burn a lot of your accounts. You won't be able to send. You wasted so much like time, money, and all this. Just don't do this. Just pick Microsoft and Google. Ideally, you want to have both, but just for your first accounts, pick like whether to pick Microsoft or Google. Just it depends on what your target customers are using. If you're reaching out to large enterprises, pick Microsoft. If you're reaching out to startups, local businesses, e-commerce brands, pick Google. If unsure, just pick Google because most businesses use Google. Now, instantly done for you setup at this point only offers Google account setup. So for Microsoft, you would either have to set it up yourself or just like use a done for you service like Zapmail or Hypertide to set up Microsoft accounts. Now, haven't used them myself yet, but I heard lots of good recommendations basically for them. So I would just use that. Few rules of thumb to remember. So each domain can hold, cold email domain can hold a maximum of 4 cold email accounts. Each email account can send a maximum of 30 cold emails per day. And when you have 20 cold email accounts, you should be able to send around 600 cold emails per day. And again, you need to separate your cold emails domains from your main domain so that your protect your domain's reputation, don't burn it. So for example, if your main domain is like saascompany.com, you should buy, I don't know, try saascompany.com, try saascompany.io, get saascompany.io, learn saascompany.io, or discover saascompany.com, whatever. This keep it to .com, .co, .io. Those are the best. Basically, .net is also fine. .xyz, use it at your own risk. So to get your emails delivered at scale, you must do all the following. Again, only set up trusted providers, Google, Microsoft. Make sure your domains aren't blacklisted. Add SPF, DKIM, DMARC records that redirect to your main website or funnel, because most people, they would just like before responding to you, they would just put it in their browser and check the website. Put your domains on automated warm up for 14 to 30 days and begin the sending volume. Basically, begin sending like slowly. So 5, like after the warm up period, just start with 5 emails per account per day, campaign emails. Then if everything goes well and the health score is above 97%, you basically go to increase it and next week to 10 emails per account per day, etc. So if you use done for you setup service, most of these things will be handled for you. However, I'm telling you this because it's important that you know at least this basics yourself, and you can check that these things were handled correctly and nothing was missed. Because if it was, well, and then you start, then well, you have to like re-warm up all the stuff again, and then like resend. It's a pain in the ass. You just don't want it. So it should take you around roughly like 2 to 4 weeks after everything was set up correctly. Then you can start sending the first emails. And in terms of what to say in the emails, I'm going to cover this in a bit. But for now, like I want to cover basically the LinkedIn side. So we were talking about the outreach channels. We covered how to set up the cold email channel. And now I'm going to talk about LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a great supplemental channel for cold email. So the first thing you need to have is you need to have an optimized profile, both for your personal profile and your company name. And again, feel free to review my LinkedIn company profile. Feel free to basically connect with me. Always open to connect. And other basically LinkedIn profile that you see are optimized for your niche. They have a proper banner, they have description, the headline is optimized, they link their basically website or funnel there, have case studies, testimonials there, basically something that looks like a connection you would want to receive in your niche. So, and then model these elements for your profile. Once you optimize your personal and your company profile for your target customers, so for example, if you're reaching out to B2B SaaS founders, you should mention that you work with B2B SaaS in your headline. If you're reaching out to financial executives, mention that like you want to optimize for basically the prospects you're reaching out there. So next, once you have an optimized profile, you want to sign up to a LinkedIn outreach automation tool like Expandy or HeyReach. Basically tested both of them. They both work were great. So just pick one of them, go. Then you want to essentially take your cold email sequence and adjust it for LinkedIn. Essentially, you would use the same messaging, just shorten it so it looks nice as a LinkedIn message. And again, more on this below when I talk about offer and outreach copy. So essentially, you want to take the same prospects you uploaded for cold email, find their profiles, and upload to Expandy or HeyReach campaigns. Now, when you get leads from, let's say, Apple or any other lead database, apart from their emails, you also get a list of LinkedIn profiles. And then you can rank them based on because LinkedIn has how much at this point? Like you can send 100 connection requests per day officially. You probably can like get it up to 200 if you like use it correctly, use the automation tools correctly. And so unlike cold email where you can send thousands of messages a day, you want to just pick your best prospects and like message them with specific campaigns. So essentially you want to set this up, check these tools at least once per day, reply to messages, and push them into a demo call. So I want to immediately answer the question, which is like, well, what if I want to do it manually? Let's say, like I can do it manually. It's better to connect manually. Like, yeah, you can do it, but why? You know, when you have a safe LinkedIn outreach platform that automates your connection requests, messaging, emails, tracks your metrics, like on the description below, like on the screenshot below, so you can optimize your campaigns over time, and you create very custom campaigns for specific roles, like why not just automate this? Why spend days? And I'd been trying to do it manually, like before automation tools, but at this point, it's just not worth it, you know? So yeah, just do this, and you'll basically you'll crack LinkedIn outreach. Cool. Next, I want to also note, put a quick note about other outreach channels. Although you can do outreach for basically on X or Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, and other social channel, I recommend focusing on cold email and LinkedIn first and making them work first, because those channels are the bread and butter of cold outreach. And if you cannot make them work, it's unlikely that the other channels basically would work for you. You'll probably have a higher failure rate. And again, there are automation tools on those channels. Maybe I'll cover them in the future. I tested those channels. I got calls from those other channels, but I would just focus on cold email and LinkedIn first and crack them here. So cool. Moving forward. Your offer and messaging angles. So just telling your prospect about your prospects about your offer or service won't cut it most of the time. Your prospects are receiving 10 to 40 plus cold emails a week, and for you to get their interest, you need to have an irresistible demand generation offer. It doesn't mean that you have to change your product or service. Most of the time, it's more about repositioning your existing offer in a way that would work on cold traffic. So here's an example graphic I put together. Let's say you pitch your product to potential customers. If you just pitch your product, maybe you get, I don't know, 0 to 5% sales, closed deals there. Now, let's say you take your product, but you reposition it as an offer. Then you can increase basically your interest rate and your deal closing rate by 10 to 20%. As an example, then you review the data analytics, you see what people mention on calls, what they want, and you create another version of the offer. And this time you got a 25% plus close rate. Basically, you get much higher interest and much higher close rate. So I want to show you an example of how this looks like. So what, like it's easy to say this, but I want to show it practically. So imagine you're an e-commerce marketing manager that working for a brand that has over 1,000 reviews on Trustpilot and 3.9 out of 5 seller rating. So basically, and you see this emails. Email number 1 is just a product pitch. For example, let's say your name is John. So let me just correct this here. So hey John. We built a tool that helps e-commerce companies like company name generate more reviews on Trustpilot without overpaying for their paid plans. Would you like to try it out for free? Now, this email, it can still work, and it worked. We sent variations of this email with one of our clients, and it worked. But the question is it working the best? And so, having reviewed this, we tried redoing this as an offer. So take a look at this example. Hey John, we noticed that company name has a 3.9 rating on Trustpilot, and given your position, I wanted to reach out. And again, we can even mention their position. Since you're a marketing manager, I wanted to reach out. We built a tool that helps e-commerce brands with over 1,000 reviews get 10 to 30% more verified reviews each month, guaranteed by leveraging X, Y, and Z features that Trustpilot doesn't offer natively. Mind if I share a 3-minute video explaining how this would work for your brand? P.S. We recently helped case study brand generate over 1,000 additional reviews in just 60 days while saving them $7K a year on their Trustpilot paid plans. And based on my research, I believe we can do the same for you. Now, which email do you think would generate more positive responses and more demo requests? Like it's obvious. Now, it doesn't mean that this will always work this way. It depends what works in your market, but I want to show you how you can take your product and reposition it as an offer, because this typically works better by cold email. So now let's talk about how to write good cold email copy. And the short answer to this is you want to pick proven cold email copy template you like. It writes several variations of this. And so I prepared a couple of templates that you can use basically plus examples of how this would look like, so you can model and adjust it for your specific case. So cold email template number one. Start with intro plus reason for reaching out. You offer basically your offer or your solution. You add proof or risk reversal. You add a call to action, PS, and then unsubscribe note. By the way, in cold emails, don't use unsubscribe links. Because any link would reduce your deliverability. Just use plain text emails. And yeah, just use this, for example, line. If this isn't relevant, just let me know. I won't reach out again. So how this looks like. Example one is like, hey, John, so you're responsible for marketing at the company name. Thought it makes sense to reach out. We create the tool that helps e-commerce marketing managers like yourself hear your value proposition, like optimize ad budgets, pricing, and expenses in real time without things they don't want. Like, for example, without having to wait for a delayed P&L, a profit and loss statement. Interested to hear more? P.S. We do have a free plan. Our paid plan costs less than like renowned competitor they're likely using. While offering the same core features. So this is template number one. And again, you can rewrite this. Like this is an example to get your juices flowing, so to say. Next, cold email template number two. Intro, reason for reaching out. Agitate the problem, offer solution, like solution or offer, proof, risk reversal, CTA, PS, unsubscribe note. Hey, John, so you're using a competitor tool and thought it makes sense to reach out. You're probably tired of X, Y, and Z. Common pain points. We create the tool that solves these problems without things they don't want, or while giving you additional benefits. Mind if I send over a quick 2-minute video explaining how it works? P.S. Also saw you're into modern tools like X, Y, and Z, so thought you'd like to discover a solution made for 2025, not 2010. So if this isn't relevant, just let me know and I won't reach out. So you can write essentially different variations of the intro, offer, proof, risk reversal, CTA, PS section. However, I would recommend starting with one great, irresistible cold email. Like you know what I'm talking about. Your product, when you have defined your offer already, your product, your offer, like there is a value proposition your customers want, especially if you have paying clients, if you have case studies, you know what is the biggest thing they want, or at least you think you know. And so you want to make your offer irresistible here. So just create this variation, then rewrite other variations by changing variables so you can find the variation that works the most. Now, in the beginning, I recommend enabling open rates, unlike common advice right now in 2025, because you want to understand if you're actually landing in the inbox. So if you're getting below 50% open rate, now in some markets it can be slightly lower if you're reaching out like to a high enterprise, but overall, like you want to get above 50% open rate. So if you're getting below this, I would just test different subject lines, different intro lines. So this is an intro line, for example. This is what shows it as the preview text in the email when they just preview it before clicking on it in the inbox. Then you want to test your offer because it's the highest impact variable. Then if you know if your offer is like it's already very tight, what you can do is you test your call to actions. You can send more info, like instead of requesting a call or asking, hey, would you want more info? Like instead of asking them to book a demo, you just send, hey, mind if I send over this white paper, more information, quick video, reply yes to receive this asset, whatever. So make it easier for them to say yes. So a few other tips for creating high-performing cold email campaigns. You want to use plain text emails until they respond. No links, even in signature. Keep your sequences short. No 7 to 12 step sequences. You don't need that. Most people like blacklist you, and your emails would not get delivered. Just keep it short, and you can re-enroll them a few months later if they don't respond. So 4 steps max. In many cases, just use 3. Keep at minimum 3-day delay between follow-up emails. Test sending at least 400 prospects before disabling variants. So here's example. The more the better, but again, it depends on how big is your lead list. But 400 at minimum, I would say, is starting to get statistically significant. So for faster results, instead of enabling like 12 variants at the time of email 1, email 2, email 3, I recommend just running 2 or to 4 variants at once. Once they get to around 400 emails sent, 400, 500, then you can disable low performance and start testing new ones. So this way you can test this. Track open rates in the beginning to ensure you're landing in the inbox. Test different subject lines, intro lines. Disable open rate once you're hitting basically 50% plus opens on your emails. This will give an additional deliverability boost because open rates, to measure open rates or click and open rates and also clicks, they put a pixel in your email, and some providers, they automatically, if they find any HTML, they drop it into updates folder or into spam. So disabling open rates would boost your deliverability quite a bit. Make the CTA more valuable, low friction. So quick video, lead magnet, white paper, reply yes to receive, etc. If direct call to actions, like direct to offer call to actions, don't work, then you can try lead magnets. More on this I'm going to cover in a separate video. So you always want to create multiple variations of the messaging and see which one works best. So over time, you can see which offers, call to actions, messaging angles work best than others, personalizations, and your campaigns will become 2, 3, or even 5 times more effective. And here's an example from one of our campaigns that we run. And here you can see that some variations, they generate more positive responses than basically the other ones. Ignore the open rates. We basically, we tested, I think, for a few days, a month, or like for a week total in a month, but we got quite a bit of responses and positive responses here. So this is the main metric. So here you can see some variants, they generate more positive response than others. Here, for example, this one generated 0, this one 5, this one 8 positive responses. Step 3, as you can see here. So this is how you can test. And typically your email 1 and email 2 would be the highest performing variants. So if you see later on that step like email 3, email 4 performing better, test next adding them as email 1, and you probably can get quite a big boost. So responses you can expect from cold email. Overall, your response rate and quality of responses will depend on your list, offer, and messaging angles. But as a rule of thumb, you should aim to get above a 1% positive response rate here. Now, if you get 2%, 3%, or higher, great. But don't start competing on vanity metrics like open rates and response rate, or even positive responses. The main thing is you book calls from this. So keep the North Star in mind, so to say. But I just want to say that you want to aim for at least 1% response rate because it's a great rule of thumb. Unless you have an extremely specific list and a no-brainer offer, the majority of responses will be people saying they're not interested, it's not the time, or just asking to remove them from the list, which is fine because it's the nature of the game. However, if you follow the guidelines I outlined here, every day you should be receiving a handful of responses like this. Like, hey, please send more info, how this works, what's the pricing is. I wanted to follow up and let you know I scheduled the time for like Wednesday or whatever day they scheduled in. Apologies for the delay. I'm still interested in the call. I'm out of office next week, but can we schedule something for this dates? So essentially, this is how this would look like when you structure this correctly. Cool. Next, how to write good LinkedIn outreach copy. Best tips is just keep your connection request blank because like if your profile is good, your connection you would have a higher acceptance rate and you would be able to send them messages. Rewrite your cold emails for LinkedIn. Make them shorter, more concise. No need for signature, unsubscribe link, all this stuff. You can also send links in your messages if you want to because it's on LinkedIn. You can prioritize the best prospects and reach out to high quality ones, as I mentioned, because of the LinkedIn limits. You want to prioritize. And then you want to space out your messages. So you don't want to send every few days like on cold email. Here, for example, you can say send them a first message like the same day or the day after, but the next message send in like 5 to 10 days. And then the next message you can send around in 10 to 14 days. So space it out here. People are like not as active on LinkedIn as on email. And overall, if you have a great LinkedIn profile and you also post quality content, your LinkedIn outreach will perform way better than if you use a LinkedIn for outreach alone. So just keep this in mind, invest in your profile, and this would get you higher results. Plus, you will get quite a bit of content engagement, probably quite a few inbound leads from that. Cool. Next. Last point is your follow-up system. Your follow-up system is what helps you turn interested leads into demos and clients. So imagine this. You sent the emails, you got interested responses. Now, you send them more info, but the majority of leads don't schedule a call themselves. So what do? Well, the truth is the majority of interested leads will still not book a call unless your solution sounds super novel, exciting, and useful for them right now. And even if it is, there's still a good amount of prospects that will still not book a call. That is why we must create the perfect conditions for them to book and show up on the demo. Part of it is by handling the initial response correctly, but the other part of it is how you handle the follow-ups. So let's talk about how to make them want to book a demo with you off the initial response. Then I'm going to go into a few examples here. So first thing, your offer must be valuable in the first place. So if you're generating positive responses, most likely it is already, because otherwise they would simply not have responded, not have expressed interest. But here, you would want to give them more information here. So you would send them to a landing page, video, white paper, whatever you set as your basically call to action there in the email. But it's important to remember that in those assets, you don't want to give away too much information. You want to still keep the curiosity for them to book a call. The second point is you want to respond fast. Speed to lead is key. Ideally respond in under 5 minutes after receiving their response. So for that, you would need to keep basically your instantly or smart lead open and check it basically every, how much? Like not every 5 minutes, but like every 30 minutes, every hour, or have a dedicated person for this. You can also set up notifications on your phone to receive this. So if it's not possible, at least respond every 1 to 3 hours. The sooner, the better. Ideally, you would have a person who does it. So for example, we have a person that basically, I have a person that's constantly and instantly and checks it often and responds basically to our and our clients' emails on their behalf. So other thing you can do is to maximize the chances they respond. You can even call them. You can just pick up the phone. I know, old school, but like you can pick up the phone and call them there. But we'll keep it for later. For now, let's talk about the email part. Next, the call must be framed in their benefit. So they will learn, basically, you need to say what they will get out of this call. So they would learn unique insights, for example, that they can that could be useful for them. Ideally now or in the next few weeks, basically something that is really useful and exciting for them. If, for example, if it's not enough to just talk about the product or discuss like several insights, then you want to give them something that they will get on the call. For example, if it's a lead magnet approach, hey, if you get on this call, we'll give you a free custom report, you'll get a free lead list, we'll get other things. So I would test both approaches. You never know which one would work. If you can make direct to offer work right away, amazing. But if you see that it doesn't work as well, then you can focus on assets to make people show up on the call. Because on the call, you can ask them more questions. You can find out their situation. You can also sell higher ticket packages, and yeah, like it's just worth it. So lastly, you want to make it easy for them to book a call with you. You want to offer a few times manually. Don't just send your booking link. Don't just reply, hey, book a call with me here. You see, like via cold outreach, it doesn't work as well. So it used to work like when like a few, how much, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, more, but people got more annoyed by this. And some people, some old school people, and some higher profile people, they just get annoyed by this. Maybe they're not as tech savvy. Maybe it's an ego thing, and they say that basically, hey, you reached out to, like, maybe they stop responding after this, but after they say to their friends, like, hey, he reached out to me and he said for me to book on his calendar. Like, yeah, it's better for you, but like, what's the point if you're not getting calls? So make it easy for them. Offer a few times manually. Book, basically, once they reply, book them into your calendar or whatever software you use, and send them a confirmation. Just set the your Calendly or whatever tool. Have the notifications ready before the call. One day, confirmation. One day, a few hours, then 15 minutes text notification. But book them in yourself, Second option is essentially have the calendar ready, but use it as the second option in the PS. And make sure you have enough availability, not what you want, but what your market needs to book with you. So here's a few examples of the recent cold email responses we got. So they requested a video. As you can see, basically it was 2 days ago. Okay, great. You can find the video mentioned here. We don't just send them the video. We send basically to a custom landing page that has more information plus the video. Here, would you be open for a quick demo sometime next Monday or Tuesday? Typically, you want to suggest the following few days, 1 to 3 days, but it was already Friday, so that is why I suggest Monday or Tuesday. I would love to show you how a product can help you increase your main metric and get you on top of your category without thing they don't want. Best signature. PS, alternatively, if it's easier, feel free to grab a time here. Book to a calendar booking page. PS, PPS, on average, our clients are able to 2x their main metric in 90 days, although we have brands receive 10x more results and increase secondary metric by 20% as well. Again, I don't want to show everything, but you can see the format here. Another example, if they ask for pricing. So here, could you please send me more information on how this could work and what the pricing is? So in this case, we don't want to share exact pricing details. We don't want this, but at the same time, I tried not sharing pricing at all, but I don't think it's a good strategy here. So we want to give them a range there, especially if you have lower ticket plans. We want to give them a range and then invite them for a call. So here's the response we use. So, okay, great. In short, we developed a platform that helps on average. Then we want to show basically our quickly mention our one-liner with the results they can expect. Our clients are able to check their main metrics in the first 90 days while saving 3 to 8K on their current tools. Regarding pricing, it typically ranges between 97 to 297 per month, depending on the setup you need, and also includes a free trial plus money-back guarantee to ensure you get results you're after. However, I would need to know more about your specific situation before I could say which plan would be best for you. Are you open for a call, basically Monday or Tuesday, to explore different options? Now, it doesn't mean that you can only sell 97 to 297 to this prospect. No, just the goal is to get them on the call. On the call, you can present different options. Like with this client, we have higher ticket packages that we sell both the SaaS and the done for you element with their SaaS that are higher ticket, let's say. But we get them on the call because we don't want pricing to be an objection to have a discussion. It doesn't matter. Give them the minimal plans, and that's it. PS, alternatively, if it's easier, feel free to grab a time here. PPS, if you'd like, there's a typo here, but fine. If you would like to see an estimate of the results we can generate for you, feel free to use our calculator here. A great asset is a calculator. I talked to my client. He put together a calculator based on what we discussed. So we started experimenting, sending this as well in some of the variants. So this is essentially how you make them want to book a demo of your initial response. Just make it so good and so fast that they would just want to book a demo. Now, at the same time, for people that don't book a demo, here's how we follow up effectively if they don't book a demo of the initial response. So first thing, we follow up while they're still hot. Basically, if they didn't respond to our initial message or book a demo within the first 3 business days, we send them a follow-up. If they didn't respond after that, we send a follow-up in 5 days after this, basically after that previous message. If they didn't respond after that, we send them a follow-up in 7 days after the follow-up message. And after this, we can still continue following up. Again, feel free to experiment with this. We can follow up every 7 days, 10 days, you can send every 30 days. But I would say this is most of the time enough if you do it correctly. And I would just, if they don't respond, just touch base with them in 3 months. You can send them a quick note in like 1 month, but usually in 3 months. So, and then essentially if they didn't respond or book, you can keep following up with them every 3 months for a year until they respond. And basically we book multiple calls from this 3 to 6 month follow-ups, even the automated ones that we set up. Now, I wouldn't recommend setting up automated follow-ups right away. I would recommend keeping it more relevant and personalized. But if if you have elements that are more standard, or you already figured out the messaging network, that for sure you can just set it up automatically and people will book this way. This is what we did. Once we found what works. Cool. Next point is you want to keep your follow-ups relevant. So don't use generic follow-ups. So again, as I just mentioned, better start manually and automate after it's working. So if they requested more information, for example, you don't just want to send them like generic messages or messages like they booked a call. So you want to send them something relevant, like for example, hey, did you have a chance to go over the video I sent? Do you have any questions, or would you prefer a call to go over this in more detail? If they request a call but didn't book, you say, hey, I noticed you still haven't booked a call to discuss XYZ. Was there a scheduling issue, or would you prefer reconnect a different date? And again, we give them a way out. It's like, oh, was there a scheduling issue? Was there a mistake? Anything like this. So we want to keep this relevant. Next, we want to raise the stakes of the meeting and demo. This is something I took from Eric Novoslavsky. Basically, and this is a great strategy here, which is like, hey, if we offer them something in they responded interest, they expressed interest, we responded to them, but they still haven't booked a call. A great way is to raise the stakes, which is like, hey, by the way, not only are we going to do X, Y, and Z on the call, we're also going to go over X, Y, and Z, like another thing that is valuable for them. Or like, hey, I made a custom plan for you. You can even send Loom videos for them based on what you discussed. I made a custom plan for you. Here it is. Let's go over how we can implement in detail on the call. So raise the stakes, make it worth it for them to join the call. And the last point is like you don't use multiple channels to follow up. If they responded to a cold email, it doesn't mean you need to only follow up with them via email. You can also call them. I know. Call them, just get their number from Apollo, Liskit, or any other data enrichment, Lead Magic, any other data enrichment platform. Call them, send them a text message, connect with them on LinkedIn, message them there. I don't know, connect with them on Facebook. If they live nearby and go to a certain cafe, you can go there. But these are like the most common strategy, especially the LinkedIn one. That's it. Like they already raised their hand and said, I am interested. Just continue the conversation on a different channel, also on a different channel. So unless you have an extremely attractive offer, the majority of your demos and sales will actually come from follow-ups. So it's important that you stay on top of them and follow up every week and check in with your follow-ups and personalize them there. So that's pretty much it. If you set up and manage all these 4 interconnected components, the list, basically the infrastructure, like the channels, the offer and messaging emails, the follow-up system. If you set up and manage all these interconnected components correctly, you can easily book 10 to 40 plus demos a month for your B2B SaaS. And the more you do it, the better your results would be, because you would find basically the angles that work, the offers that work, the subject lines, the CTAs, the offer variations. And so yes, it takes some effort, but based on my experience, there is no better way at this point to take your product to market, generate your first 50 plus customers, and validate product market fit without breaking a bank. And then essentially you can, once you validate the system, you can easily take the learnings from this go-to-market strategy and apply it to other channels as you scale beyond $1 million in ARR. you already know essentially what what people want, what messaging they respond to, what offers they respond to, so you can put the same on paid advertising in your content, basically in your partnership strategies, so webinars, whatever. And so that is pretty much it. Like, hope this one insightful for you, and you got some quick tips here. And again, feel free to refer to this document in the future as you build your go-to-market system. You can grab it below if you haven't already, and just keep it for reference and go through this points, examples, essentially, and build up your system. And if you want me and my team to set up and potentially manage this go-to-market system for you, or consult you on it, simply go to saasgrowthagency.com, book your free SaaS growth call, and have a conversation, see where you're at, what your goals are, and essentially see if we can help you out. Other than that, really appreciate you sticking so long, almost an hour here. Yeah, if you have any questions on this, something you want to me to answer, just comment below. I'll go through the comments, clarify stuff, and if you want me to cover any of these topics in the future, yeah, just let me know and I'll do this. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.